It's not natural for a man to love a woman. Same as it's not natural for a woman to respect a man. In her natural state, it's not natural for her to show respect. Because if she could summon the courage to actually disrespect God, like Adam couldn't even do that. But Adam was the first one that was created before her. But the first desire, the first action that made her to leave the presence of God, the sight of God, was disrespect. So therefore, it is not natural for women to actually respect a man. Then, the first action that made a man to leave the presence of God was the love for himself and not the love for the woman. Therefore, it is not natural for the man to love a woman. By virtue of the curse that was placed in that Eden, transcended right now from generations, when God said what? He shall increase the labor pain for the woman, and she shall have desire for the man, and the man will rule over her. So that cause manifested in societal programming of the woman to conform under the man. The respect of the woman is actually bought with resources. It takes a lot of awareness to come out of this as a woman. By virtue of societal programming, the woman has been conditioned to respect the man. But society have not been able to condition the man to love the woman. Now, who are this society? These are men, or these were men in power. These were men that created laws. These were men that were kings back in the day, generations time past, that created all these systems. At a point in time, women were even seen as slaves. Like they talk for man, say woman no be slave, but the way they treat the woman, what they show to the woman shows how slaves are being treated. Look, Adam watched. Adam was in the garden when Eve disobeyed God. It was her zeal for power, her zest for resources. I want to be as wise as God. What? Her zest to be powerful that made her to disrespect God. That is why for a long time now, women have been cut off from financial acquisitions, acquiring financial power, or taking positions of power in the society, because the woman is drawn to power. The zeal to acquire power, resources, independence was what even made the woman to what? Disrespect God. In recent times now that women are actually having access to some financial privileges in the society, and which has now returned a measure of their power to them, which has given a measure of power to the women, that women can now say, no, I cannot take this in this marriage, and they'll file for a divorce. Because by virtue of access to resources, access to power, when you have resources, when you have money, you have power. You have a measure of control over your own life, over your decisions. Somebody's not going to be making decisions for you as an adult. The man that was created before her had no intention to actually disrespect God. But his love, his selfishness, love for his own self. Because if he actually loved the woman, he would have stopped the woman from doing that. And watch, how do I know that men have self-love? Even when God asked, Adam, why are you naked? He said, it is the woman you gave me. Not, oh, I am sorry. The blame went to the woman. He forgot that God actually gave the woman to be under him. God actually gave the woman for him to care for her. He forgot that he's supposed to defend and protect her when the enemy came. But because of his own desire, and because the enemy knows this weakness, he has studied the weakness of the two gender. That was how he was able to make the humanity race to fall. No accountability. As if that the woman forced him. So you see, until this day, men are still operating in that lower nature.